Hey vinyl community, this is my response to Lazerrus' thread on top albums of the 80s. This was a lot harder than what I thought it was going to be. When I was watching other people's videos, I thought, oh, I could easily do a response to this and blow right through it, but proved to be really hard for me because I listened to a lot of music in the 80s. So I'm going to try and do my best here. The way I gauge this is just albums that I was listening to that year that I knew I wore out on my turntable, or if it was in my cassette deck, or in the late 80s in my CD player. But this is what I come up with. So a couple records in here, I'll call them island records. If you had to move to a deserted island and take a few things with you, these are some of the records you'd take. There's a couple of those island records in here. But let me get started. 1980, Ted Nugent, Scream Dream. I love this record. I listened to it a lot. I remember cutting the order form out and sending it away for the t-shirt. I was a big Ted Nugent fan in the late 70s, and to me this album is one of his last really good ones. In the mid 80s I didn't get into him as much. But anyway, great album, Ted Nugent, Scream Dream, 1980. 1981 proved to be a really hard year for me to pick with the stuff Maiden and Priest was putting out. And other bands, but after I thought about it for a while, hands down it went to Rush, Moving Pictures. I've always been a huge Rush fan. Of course, this is one of their most popular records. This has the classic hits on it, on side 1, but actually side 2 is my favorite. One of my favorite Rush songs is Witch Hunt. I loved listening to that song with a set of headphones on, cranking it up. So 1981, Rush, Moving Pictures. 1982, this is an easy choice. Rush. Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. I remember when this album came out, I've never seen anything like it. I mean, that cover was great. The color was great. Every song was great. They even had a video out on MTV for You Have Another Thing Coming. And we used to come home from school and just sit and wait for that video to come on because it was like one of the only heavy metal videos out at the time. And everything about this album was just great. I mean, it came with a cool order form. When you pulled the album out, you saw that. They had that metal look. They just defined heavy metal. And so this is definitely an island album. 1982, Judas Priest, Screaming for Vengeance. 1983, another island album, Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden. Again, everything about this album was great. Every song's good on it. My favorites are like Revelation and Still Life. I remember sitting in school trying to draw that on my tablet. I mean, I was a huge Maiden fan, still am. But 1983, Peace of Mind by Iron Maiden. Again, you pulled this out. You had the cool inner sleeve. And you had, I believe there's an order form in here. Yeah, an order form. I actually had the picture disc to this album too, and I, like a fool, sold it to some guy over in Greece. I'm going to buy it back because I should have sold it. So 1983, Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind. 1984, no doubt, is TNT, which is what's playing in the background too. This album's called Knights of the New Thunder. It's a good melodic metal album. Ronnie Latacro, the guitar player, is just fantastic. I never heard anybody like him. He was so fast and clean. Tony Harnell, the singer, as you can hear, he's just had vocals. He could sing the phone book, man. The guy's so good. He's not in the band anymore. So if the guys in TNT are watching this, which I'm sure you are, get Tony back in the band. But regardless, every song on this album is good. Again, another good headphone song to listen to is Without Your Love. I just can't get enough of this record. 1984, TNT, Knights of the New Thunder. 1985, this was an easy choice for me. Kick-Axe, Welcome to the Club. I just picked this copy up not too long ago on one of my recent videos. You'll see it. But I listened to this cassette like crazy. This was a great album from a great Canadian band, Kick-Axe. 1985, Welcome to the Club. 1986 was really hard to choose one album. but I was just getting into thrash. Up to that point, I was just hard rock. But I remember seeing Metallica and wondering what they were all about, so I got Master of Puppets, and what a great album. This is what kind of launched me into thrash, and every song on this album is good. A second runner-up would have to be King Diamond, Abigail, because that's a great album too. I saw King Diamond on that tour, but pretty sure King Diamond Abigail was out in '86. Might have been '87, but regardless, Metallica, Master of Puppets was a great album in '86. '87 launched me into thrash totally, and this was the album. This is an Island album. This is probably one of my favorite albums in my whole collection. I have it on vinyl, CD, and cassette. I wore the printing off of the cassette because I had my driver's license by then and was driving around. So Anthrax, Among the Living. This album is, like I said, what launched me into listening to a lot of thrash. Exodus, Testament, more Metallica. But I ended up getting everything by Anthrax. I love this album. Every song on this album is great. They had videos on MTV to watch. I was watching Headbangers Ball. I remember when they hosted it. Their level of playing skill is amazing. Every guy in the band was great at the time. I wish Dan Spitz was back in the band now, because they got Joey Belladonna back in. But I love this album. I just wore it out, and the videos were great, and I just can't say enough about this. One of my top albums in my collection. Every song's amazing. So, 1987, Anthrax, Among the Living. 1988, I think it was Pudsey that said that by 88, 89, it was getting harder to find good music coming out, and he's right. It's just weird. It went from like 86, 87, then 88, 89, things started dropping off. A lot of stuff that was coming out really wasn't that great, but I got to go with Van Halen, OU812 in 1988. I saw them on the Monsters of Rock tour this year. They were the headlining act. Scorpions, Dokken, Metallica, and Kingdom Come were on that bill. But I saw them on this tour. Sammy was great. He was non-stop energetic. Sammy, if you're watching, I just have one of your Cabo Wabo shirts on. I went to the cantina in Las Vegas and ate there. So good food. I'm sure you're watching, Sammy. But anyway, I love this record. I was in a band at the time. Everybody in my band loved this record. They had videos out that you could see on MTV. Just a really good Van Halen album. OU812 in 1988. And last, again, 1989 was getting harder to come up with good stuff, but hands down, I listen to this all the time. Badlands, their debut album, actually, with Jakey Lee on guitar. Ray Gillen's vocals were great. This is a really good raw sounding rock album. Every song on it's really great. Again, Eric Singer, who's in Kiss now, played drums. But if you're a heavy metal fan, a hard rock fan, and you don't have this record, pick it up. It's great on vinyl, and it was one of the last good albums in 1989 to get made. So, but anyway, that's my top 10 songs or albums from the 80s. I know not many people talk about metal much in the vinyl community. Lazerrus, your 80 through 85 was good, right up my alley. Not saying the rest of it wasn't good. I'm just saying that was real close to what I loved. Pudsey, I watched your video last night, and your stuff was right up my alley too. So I'll throw it out there for the metal guys in the vinyl community, and enjoy watching everybody's videos though, no matter what you're into. And so I hope you enjoyed mine, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care and have a great day.